Okay, I keep talking and nothing gets done, and I will keep talking for a while. Before starting all this, I wanted to make a bit of a planning, and that idea with the island being assembled separately from the rest of the ship and not like in the instructions, that idea stayed on my mind. And what happens is this: the first 5 steps, they don't concern the island. They only concern the hull and the bulkheads, the deck, rudders and propellers, admiral bridge, and a lot of small pieces on top of the deck. Now the island itself starts at step 6, so perhaps I could treat the island separately. I could put the rest of the ship aside and start building the island independently. For that to be done, I marked up the steps from 6, I think, till 22. Whatever I put in blue is related to that island, including the funnels and the boats. And actually there is something else later on to be added on the island in step 29, step 30, when the masts are already in place, and step 32, there are some railings, and the rest of the steps are quite independent from the island. But this one, 29, now there is a question: what I do with the masts? Do I treat them separately, completely separately, totally separately, and then I install them on the island and then everything on the ship? Or I install the island before doing the masts? I don't know. So this is why I stopped with my markups at step 22, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the masts. But at least from 6 to 22, it's all about the island. Yes. So that would be a first item to be clarified. I think so. Now, what should I do about the colors? Because this hull is in 2 pieces, but the moment you start painting the lower part, you have to know exactly what you're gonna put on the upper part of the hull. So I was thinking about a dark gray for the upper part and light gray for the superstructure and turrets. Maybe a dark gray for the guns and turret roofs. Maybe dark gray or even dark yellow for the masts. I don't know. But we are far away from that. First of all, I have to take a decision about the hull. And the hull, I incline towards a dark gray. And of course the hull red in the lower part underwater. And we have the water line, which will be black. other things black would be the tops of the funnels and those gratings on top and whatever railing is there. And I don't know, not much else. Not a lot of black on this ship. I don't know about the boats also, what color I will use. Inside they're gonna be dark yellow, wooden something, but outside they might be either green like the light gray like the superstructure, or even white. I don't know. There are a lot of things I still don't know, but at least I got to decide something about the hull for now. This is about the colors, at least how I see it today. From a lower side to the mast we have the hull red, XF9, all these are Tamiya colors of course, the flat black, XF1, the dark gray for the upper half of the hull above water, XF24, the light gray, medium sea gray, XF83 for the superstructure and perhaps the boats. The boats might be white, I'm not sure yet. And this one, which is field gray, XF65 for the masts. These two might change later on, but these three I have to decide finally right about now, because I'm gonna start working the hull. So these three will stay in the game for now, for the hull. Underwater, waterline, above waterline. Okay, let's stop effing around and get ready for ballet. This hull business is very serious and it's not gonna get done by itself, unfortunately. These all things we've seen them already. Okay, the deck and the hull, and I don't want anything else for now. I still haven't decided what to do with the gun barrels. Will I leave them the originals, the plastic ones, or will I really change them just for I don't know, for the sake of the argument? I told you I didn't see any difference when I did that for the Cesarewitch build. Any difference at all? Quite serious hull. Try to separate it. For the Cesarewitch, for the previous build, I tended to show a lot of stuff on camera for the first part of the build, and then towards the end I kinda, I don't know, lost my patience and you didn't see much, but I have a good reason. What's the point in wasting your time with all my hesitations and bumbling around and my shaky hands and so on? So sometimes I might avoid to do that, at least not in such a huge detail. I know I might be too rough with this thing, I'm not sure. Okay. Let's keep going. Interesting shape, this this sprue. Interesting one. These things will have to be cleaned, I'm guessing. Yes, definitely. And I will have to do some filing in these areas, but not a lot of filing otherwise. Here and there, just a bit. This one was quite rough. This is even worse. It's my fault, mind you. For this filing, I have my tool here. You know it from the Cesarevich build. It's an electric one, and I have my grinding paper, sandpaper, how do you call it in English? I think it's sandpaper, a circular one. It went okay for me in the first build, so I will try to repeat it. Very little intervention. It was quite okay from the beginning. And that's about it for the filing, for the whole pieces. Let's try to make a first dry run, kinda matching them together to see where we are with everything. And you know what? We are quite okay. We are quite okay. Of course, normal people would start adding some putty, maybe not here inside, but on the outside. Let's zoom a bit. In these areas, at the very end, where the pieces will not get together perfectly. Not at all. I wonder why they don't get together perfectly. I didn't have time to break or do anything wrong yet. And still, they don't get together very well. Well, they might here at the prow, but not very well at the poop. Something to consider. Will I work quite a lot for almost nothing? It's possible. It is possible. Well, first of all they have to be painted and then put together, and we'll not forget the bulkheads inside. They are also part of step 1. But before painting I have to start masking, and before start masking I have to see where exactly would be the water line. To identify the water line, I should go back to the instructions, actually to the color scheme, to the paint scheme. And try to find out where is our water line. You don't see much. of course. Should I focus a bit? Aha, now it's better. So, until the water line we have the second line of windows. Okay, we have we have a line of armor plates, I would suppose, and the water line comprises half of that line of plates and half of the next line, or only half of the first line. I cannot see very well here. Yeah, it's only half of the first line of plates. I think the water line would be here, like this, going here. Half of this line under the windows, under the portholes. This would be the first, and the water line has to be here. Yeah, solved. This clarifies the thing. You didn't see it. I'm sorry. My zoom was terrible. So it should be here. Half of this line would be the water line. The rest would be light gray, and the rest red hull, or hull red. So I have to mask accordingly. I will try to mask it in one piece with this masking tape. I think it's a 3mm wide masking tape. I will try to do it in one shot. No. Have to keep it straight. As straight as I can. Going a bit lower. Lower. No, I need to be lower. Okay. And lower. And at the end. Okay. Let's cut it. Let's turn. And this is it. Kinda. I will try to do the second one in the same idea. Maybe. I think this one went better than the first one. You couldn't see the imperfections in the first one, but I could. And I know sometimes the camera doesn't doesn't follow my hands, or more correctly, my hands are not where they should be, they are supposed to be. Hey, remember that whole discussion we had about the anchor holes, anchor ports? Look at this thing. Here at the starboard it has two ports, and the other side, on the port side, it only has one. Now that's something. I never seen this. I didn't expect this to happen. How come? I don't think it's a mistake from Hobby Boss. These are serious people. I think it's my ignorance. How come a ship would have two anchors, or at least two anchor ports on one side and only one on the other side? Hey, that's something. Okay, we are kinda okay at both ends. The masking tape is in the way, this is why this pin doesn't enter the hole over there. But apart from that, we are okay with the alignment and everything. Okay. Now I'll have to keep masking. I will hide the lower part. I think it doesn't really matter. Either I hide the lower part and I paint this one dark gray, or I hide this one and I paint this one hull red in the first step. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Now I've masked the lower part, as I said, and what's left will be paint dark gray. Now I always use this 3mm wide yellow masking tape, because if I put directly this one, I risk, with my shaky hands and all, having it not very well installed, not properly installed. So I prefer to do it precisely once with the slim one, with the narrow one, and then roughly with this one. Now if some dark gray comes here, I don't mind, I don't care. This part will be anyway hull red. So now I remember about one of the episodes in Ron Calvert's show. He was doing, I think he was doing the hood or the IO, I can't remember. And there were parts of the ship having to be to show a gray color, and it was precisely this gray. So he was like, why I should even bother painting them, because they're gonna be the same color anyway as this gray, which might happen to my ship, to my model too. And he said, well, after all, once you paint it, maybe it's not gonna look like plastic anymore. Well, I'm not so sure about that. I was tempted to leave it not paint, but I want to darken a bit these parts, so I will apply the dark gray. Yes, I think that will have to happen in the next episode though. We are quite late here, and I wasted a lot of your time already. Thank you for watching.